Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to dive into the lesser-known tales and intriguing tidbits behind the beloved classic Home Alone, the quintessential holiday movie that has delighted audiences for decades. The origin of Home Alone is a perfect example of how a small idea can blossom into something much larger and more impactful. The concept for the film was sparked by a single scene in John Hughes' 1989 comedy, Uncle Buck. In that movie, Macaulay Culkin, who plays the role of Miles Russell, has a brief yet memorable scene where he interrogates a babysitter through the mail slot of the front door. Culkin's character suspiciously questions the babysitter using a series of rapid-fire questions, showcasing his precocious and witty nature. In another scene, Culkin bombards his uncle with a series of quick, pointed questions.
Where's your wife?
Don't have one.
How come?
It's a long story.
Do you have kids?
No, I don't.
How come?
It's an even longer story.
Are you my dad's brother?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
38.
These scenes struck a chord with Hughes. He was inspired by the idea of a young boy, similar to Culkin's character in Uncle Buck, being left home alone and having to fend for himself. Hughes, known for his ability to tap into the psyche and world of teenagers and children, saw potential in this scenario not just for comedy, but also for a story about growth, independence, and the spirit of ingenuity in a child. The Tarantula's Silent Scream. When Marv has a tarantula placed on his face, Daniel Stern had to mime a scream so as not to frighten the spider. The scream was added in post-production to achieve the famous high-pitched shriek. The scene was done in one take. What's interesting is that Daniel Stern agreed to do it without knowing if the tarantula would bite or not. A film within a film. The gangster film Angels with Filthy Souls, watched by Kevin, is a memorable and often misunderstood element of the film. Contrary to popular belief, Angels with Filthy Souls, it is not a real film from the 1940s, but was created specifically for Home Alone. This fictitious movie plays a significant role in both the humor and plot of the film, especially in the scenes where Kevin uses it to his advantage. In Home Alone 2, the fictional film makes a reappearance, this time with a sequel titled Angels with Even Filthier Souls. This was a great callback to the original movie. It even fooled actor Seth Rogen. He shared his surprise on Twitter stating, "My entire childhood, I thought the old-timey movie that Kevin watches in Home Alone was actually an old movie." Culkin's brother in a cameo. Macaulay Culkin's younger brother, Kieran Culkin, who later became a well-known actor himself, made a cameo in the film. Kieran played the character of Fuller McAllister, Kevin's cousin, known for his tendency to wet the bed. Joe Pesci's difficulty with family-friendly language. Joe Pesci kept forgetting that he was filming a family movie during his character's on-screen outbursts, so director Chris Columbus advised him to say fridge instead of the F word. He also came up with a solution, inventing gibberish or nonsensical phrases to use when his character Harry got angry or frustrated.
What?
Travel to the airport. Uncle Frank, often seen as miserly and comical in his negativity, makes a remark to his brother Peter McAllister.
You be positive, I'll be realistic.
It is made in the context of their rush to catch a flight to Paris. In reality, the statement is quite accurate given the logistical challenges they face. The McAllister family resides in Winnetka, a suburb of Chicago. Traveling from Winnetka to Chicago O'Hare International Airport typically takes at least 30 minutes, and that's under ideal traffic conditions. Considering they have a large group of 15 people, managing to navigate through the airport processes in such a short time frame would indeed be challenging. Improvised injury. In one of the scenes, Harry is supposed to threaten Kevin by biting his finger. The intention was to act out the threat without causing any real harm. However, during the take, Pesci accidentally bit Culkin for real, leaving a scar on his finger. Auditions. Director Chris Columbus conducted auditions for over 200 children for the role of Kevin in Home Alone. While writer John Hughes had initially suggested Macaulay Culkin, based on his performance in Uncle Buck, Columbus wanted to explore other options to ensure the best casting. After seeing numerous auditions, Columbus realized that Culkin's talent was unmatched, leading him to ultimately cast Culkin for the role. Buzz's girlfriend. In the scene where Kevin finds a picture of Buzz's girlfriend, The photo is actually of a boy dressed as a girl. The filmmakers thought it would be cruel to make fun of a girl's appearance, so they opted to use a picture of a crew member's son in a wig. The Voice Changer Toy. The Voice Changer Toy, Talkboy from Home Alone 2, has an interesting story. Initially, it was a non-functional prop created specifically for the film. It was designed by the film's art department and wasn't intended to be a real product. After the release of the film, there was significant public interest in the Talkboy. Fans wanted a real Talkboy of their own, leading to a high demand for the product. Responding to this demand, the toy company Tiger Electronics released a functional version of the Talkboy in 1993, a year after the movie's release. The real Talkboy featured a cassette recorder and player, variable speed control, and a microphone, similar to the ones seen in the film. The popularity of the Talkboy led to the release of several variations, including the Talk Girl, a pink-colored version marketed towards girls. Improvised lines. John Candy's role as Gus Polinski, the polka king of the Midwest, was almost entirely improvised. Candy was known for his improvisational skills, and many of his lines were made up on the spot. Despite being a major star at the time, Candy agreed to appear in the film out of his friendship with John Hughes, the film's writer and producer, with whom he had worked previously on other projects like Planes, Trains and Automobiles. Police scene. In the police department scene of Home Alone, a piece of donut accidentally fell onto the phone receiver. To maintain continuity, the producers decided to keep filming subsequent takes with the donut piece still on the receiver until it naturally fell off. This ensured consistency across the scene's shots. That's it for today. Thanks for watching and see you at the next video.